Okay, good evening and welcome all to our Chamber for Advancement of Small and Medium Businesses webinar today. I would also like to welcome our speaker, CA Maheshwar Marathe sir, who has always honored our invite, and I think this is the third time that you are on our platform, I believe. Also welcoming all the participants. I see some core team members of our chamber, Dr. Sunil Tembe and a few others. So I'll take this opportunity to briefly talk about the chamber and the achievements that we have had in last 1 year. We'll be celebrating our foundation day, completing our 1 year on 1st March, and our foundation day is on March 5th, which I'll briefly talk about shortly. And after that, I will also introduce our today's speaker and hand it over to him. So most of you must be familiar about our chamber, which was founded in late 2020, December 2020, with an official launch on 1st March 2021. Girish Chittade sir of Chittade Dairy was our chief guest that day. And since then, we have come a long way in last 1 year. We are very much active on all our social media handles, as well as on our website. You will find most of our documents, white papers. We have released 3 newsletters so far, which are also available. The PDF copies are available on our website at casmb.org.in. We were founded with the mission vision where effectively we were trying to help the MSMEs, the micro, small, medium enterprises. We have also had a chance to meet the current Honorable Minister for MSME, Shri Narayan Rane ji, a few months back. And I have also had multiple meetings with the Industries Minister of Maharashtra, Shri Subhash Desai sir. And we are trying our best to help advancement of the MSME industry. Through webinars such as what we are having today, and through other webinars, I think there are around 80 such sessions that we have hosted in last 1 year. All of them are available on our YouTube channel. We are also representing MSME in various forums. We have presented ourselves in the Ministry of Food Processing, the MSME, and few other ministries as well. We're also trying to empower the farmers to become entrepreneurs. In fact, we are creating a whole training program for food businesses, like the one district, one product, where every district has been assigned, one of the major products has been assigned, and you can avail 35% subsidy manufacturing on that produce. So Ministry of Food Processing has asked us to create certain training programs for few of these products. We have also tried to bring various research, academic, as well as a lot of technology providers on this platform. We have done technology transfers. We have tried to disseminate the government schemes, policies. We are also partnering with a couple of big exhibitions that will be happening in the later part of the year. Annapurna, which is happening in second week of September in Mumbai, as well as the FIHI, Food Ingredients, Health Ingredients, happening in Bangalore in the 3rd week of September. So our members will also be getting discounted price. In fact, we are working with the ministry to get 50% subsidy on when you attend or participate in these big exhibitions. Through our portal of Food Tech Pathshala and the Food Agri Jobs, we are helping through capacity building and trainings and employment for students or young professionals, which indirectly helps the MSME. We have also been conducting study tours. We have had factory visits, already conducted 2, and we have lined up a couple of them with Mota Chips in Mumbai and Patson Foods in Gujarat. We conducted one with Chittade Bandhu Mithai Wale in their Khed Shivapur factory, which is also available on our YouTube channel. So trying our best, and in last 1 year, we have being able to do a lot of things. We are blessed with a very strong advisory board. And in fact, in last couple of days, we have added 2 more very senior members on the advisory board. We are just awaiting for their formal approval to add it to the list. And most of these names are very well known in the space of food industry. like Professor Smita Lele, Dr. Prabodh Halde, Dr. Prakash Kondekar, Dr. K.D. Kamble, as well as Professor Pramod Raghav. We are blessed with a very strong core committee as well, with me working as a honorary position of the president. We have Umesh, Rupa, and most of them, I'm sure you're familiar with us. Dr. Sunil Tembe is also here today with us. We have also representation in more than 3 states already, and including Northeast, and hoping to have our footprint across India. So these are some of the initiatives, like I've already said, through our knowledge series trainings. Most of them are free, are available on our YouTube channel. There are a few paid training sessions on our Food Tech Pathshala portal. We have also been running a startup buddy program, handling a lot of startups, student startups or professional startups. We have a technology transfer cell. So if you're looking for any new technologies, feel free to reach out to us. Our Purna Brahma magazine has also been a big hit. We have already launched 3 issues. The third one came just now, where there is an interview of Dr. Raghunath Mashelkar, former Director General of CSIR. We have also created a lot of forward linkages for our startups, for Bachat Guts and many other entities. We are in touch with government and foreign agencies. In fact, recently we had an MOU with the Israeli consulate as well, where we'll be interacting together to help increase the bilateral trade. And like I said, exhibition, study tours is also part and parcel of our overall activities. And we realize that women entrepreneurs need probably more hand-holding or more support, and that's why we have created a women's cell, which is also doing a lot of things. In fact, we are running a series of 4 or 5 programs. A couple of them have already happened. This Saturday, 19th, we have a program, again, a free webinar on the PMFME scheme, Prime Minister's formalization of micro enterprises. What exactly the scheme is, how you can avail it. It's going to be in Hindi. So if anybody is interested, please let us know. That's being arranged by the Women's Cell and few other associations from Gujarat. Some of the upcoming things, we'll be completing 1 year officially on March 1st. So we are hosting our Foundation Day, where we are also going to give awards to student startups, MSMEs, as well as women startups. We'll also be we have also launched a chamber ambassador program, where already 55 various colleges have their students as ambassadors with us, so we can transfer our activities or program details to them, and they are able to bring back the things happening in their college back to us. So we have a connect with already 55 plus colleges all over India. And on the Foundation Day program, we'll also be launching 2 new initiatives of the creating the angel network. Now with the Shark Tank, it has become a buzzword. So we have dabbled in it for some time last year, but now we'll make it in a much more formalized way, and also launch our incubation center, which will be an extension of the Startup Buddy program. These are our nominal fees. So if anybody is interested in becoming a member, feel free to reach out to us after the program today or offline as well. And we have kept it as low as 2,500 for a small scale micro sector, 5 crore turnover kind of a setup. Or students and farmers can also become members at a nominal fee of 500 rupees. So with that, thank you very much for listening to me. This is my number and my email. So if anybody is interested to reach out to me, feel free to do that. There's Diksha and there's Shalini from our team as well, who can also help you in case you have any questions. So with that, I turn over to what we have all gathered here today to hear about the budget 2022. And before I hand over to our esteemed speaker, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce him. We have here with us today CA Maheshwar Marathe, who's a managing partner with CMRS and Associates LLP, which is a Pimpri Chinchwad based, one of the first CA firm in Pimpri Chinchwad, founded in 1974. Currently, they have almost 150 members, plus members in their company. Mr. Marathe has a BCom degree, followed by he's a chartered accountant and few other diplomas in information systems audit, insurance and risk management, and international banking and finance. He's a qualified chartered accountant since 2002 and a practicing professional. He has also worked as an area credit manager in ICICI Bank Limited in SME funding. He holds various positions in the matters of MSME, has been course designer, faculty for a certificate course on MSME at the CA Institute. He has written several articles. He's ex-managing committee member of Pimpri Chinchwad branch of CA Institute from 2013 to 16. And he is an ex-expert director at the Kalyan Janta Sahakari Bank from June 2015. So with this, sir, I hand it over to you, and we look forward to your insights about the budget 2022. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Nileshji, and thank you to the chamber also. It is really a privilege to be here again for the third time to present my views on budget, and definitely a few provisions which the budget is pronouncing, which are more relevant to the MSMEs. So my area of study being the MSME matters. So I have prepared a small presentation also with the budget pronouncements or the announcements wherever they are little bit at least relevant to the MSMEs, the business of the MSMEs. I have tried to jot them down. So I'll try to present that paper in front of you. Wherever you have a query, you can definitely go to the Q&A, or even you can use that chat box. So I'll try to, at the end of the presentation, I'll try to come to that and attend to that. I'll just go to the presentation directly. Contents as such, in 2 slides, I'll try to show the big picture and then the specific provisions as far as beneficial to the MSMEs. Around 40 minutes, 35 to 40 minutes, I'll try to present, so that post that we can have at least 5-10 minutes for question and answers. Friends, in fact, in this one slide, the 3 goals that the government has out of this budget, and the 4 priorities they have pronounced in a nutshell. That as far as goals are concerned, the Antyodaya is the best suitable word for the first goal, that is focus on growth and all-inclusive welfare, promoting technology and various cycles, virtuous cycles, starting from private investment, crowded in the public capital investment, in the sense lot of capital expenditure this time, so that the earning assets can be generated. So at the same time, the 4 priorities that are announced are PM Gati Shakti, inclusive development, financing the investments, and productivity enhancement and investment, sunrise opportunities, energy, climate action, kind of. So this is the slide, in fact, is given by the government only. Important to note is, we all know that we are in the Amrut Mahotsav of our independence, and finance minister called next 25 years as Amrit Kal, that is from Swaraj 75 to Swaraj 100. So in a way, they are trying to say that we have this vision for next 25 years, how India should be at 100, Swaraj 100. So when I scroll down through the budget speech, I found some 2-3 interesting. In fact, I searched for these specific words. So I find around 9 times this MSME is pronounced by the minister. Technology is pronounced for 15 times, and digital is pronounced 36 times. So we can understand the technology and the digital interventions that are going to play a great role going forward. So we should take some cue out of this overall the speech which the minister had delivered. When I say the big picture, just for our understanding, ultimately national budget is something, the total expenditure that the government is planning in next 1 year. So year on year, if we compare, in 2021, the total budget expenditure was of around 35 lakh crores. It went up to 37.7 lakh crores in 21-22. And 22-23, the government is planning to spend close to 40 lakh crores. Now, the main point to be noted here is point number 13, that is the expenditure on capital account. So as an economist, I'll definitely not be analyzing the entire budget, but this 7 lakh crores of capital expenditure was most discussed. Even some criticism also by some prominent opposition leaders was on this only. We'll come to that, but this particular expenditure has grown multifolds, in the sense this was close to around 4.26 lakh crore in 2021, which jumped to 5.54 or 6 lakh crore, and this time it is 7.5 lakh crores, which is a biggest jump ever year on year. So ultimately, government is trying to build some real capital assets which will earn for the country, or which will generate the income in turn. So one more slide which is showing that the proportion of capital expenditure in the total budgeted expenditure, if we start in 14-15, the blue line shows our total capital expenditure component in the total expenditure was close to around 11%, which today has gone up to close to 19%. This is the proportion, and the shift of priorities or shift of approach it shows really. So definitely the upward trend in a way started in 2021, 22 it continued, and 22-23 it is again moving towards a better capital expenditure based budget. So this gives a message that how the government through creation of assets is trying to give a boost to the economy. Again, one more slide which shows how from 2014-15, from 2 lakh crores to close to 7.5 lakh crores, how this government has given that allocation towards building the assets, that is the capital expenditure. Now, one very important question that comes is, where is this government trying to spend this money? So entire money, yes, on revenue terms, in terms of the revenue expenditure, there are a lot of things, including the government salaries and subsidies and all those things. However, this 7.5 lakh, where is it spent the most? So this one slide makes it very, very clear. We have heard this Pradhan Mantri Gati Shakti. What is it all about? So it is nothing but it is an investment made on the national level master plan. That means creation of infrastructure which is end to end. And we can see this allocation of expenditure on transport, which has almost from 2.33 lakhs has gone up to 3.51 lakh crores in the current year. So this Pradhan Mantri Gati Shakti, that is the national master plan, is all about the efficient transportation in the country. So accordingly, it is finding the prominent place in terms of expenditure, and jump of expenditure also very much visible. So this is about the Pradhan Mantri Gati Shakti, which includes 4 or 5 sectors in it. But we'll not go into details of this, but we'll definitely come one by one where it is most relevant to the MSMEs. As far as analysis of a budget is concerned, we should also consider what the critics are saying about it. And rightly there, most capitalist budget so far is the reaction of one of the previous finance minister. And a best reaction that the finance minister has given to him is, thanks for the compliments. In a way, she takes it as a compliment, because this entire process of capitalization, or say capital driven economic growth, capital expenditure driven economic growth, somewhere started in 1991, and then in 2000 also we saw a lot of reforms coming in there. So this is just for as part of analysis, because what is that critics are trying to analyze the budget as. So maximum thing which they said is about this capitalistic, or the capital allocation, or capital account allocation of the budget. So just for reference, we should definitely refer what the other people are also saying. So I try to bring this to your notice. Friends, now as far as the MSME is concerned, always any MSME has these 4 prominent questions. I'm just trying to reproduce it here, which I give as part of my presentation on all MSME platforms. So how do I increase my business? How do I fund my new orders? How do I manage my credit period? And are there any incentives to me? So these are the four prominent questions, and every question has a proper answer through various schemes. Over a period, government has tried to answer all these prominent questions, and budget every year brings some or the other additional benefit or say additional initiatives, any additional allocation, and that is as a practice is pronounced through the budget. So we all know the GEM, the TREADS, the Samadhan, Cgt Msc, cluster concept. All these initiatives are for the MSMEs, and budget gives some added allocations, some added initiatives which are pronounced as part of our annual budget. So in one particular slide, the answer which the budget is bringing this year are in four specific initiatives. Two are very known, common, which we have heard of in last 1 or 2 years. One definitely is about the COVID related additional funds which the government has given, called as ECLGS. The government said we are extending this scheme by 1 more year. We are making additional allocation of 50,000 crores. And that is mainly focusing on hospitality and related enterprises. So the sector which was most hit and the sector which can come up very fast. So that is hospitality and all related enterprises. So there, this additional allocation is done. The period is also extended by 1 more year, and certainly these entities will be now able to borrow additional funds for their requirement. Second is revamping of the Cgt Msc scheme, because of late in last 6 months or so, this total Cgt Msc coverage kind of was exhausted, because every time there has to be some allocation from government side. So a right step in the right direction, around 2 lakh crores of additional provision of guarantee from central government is announced by the minister for the year. So Cgt Msc, one more great boon in a way. This ECLGS was for them who are already in existence or who are already borrowers, but Cgt Msc is certainly for them who are new into business, who want unsecured fund kind of. So for them also there is a good news. 2 more specific initiatives which are matter of study for even me, because they are just the pronouncements. We need to really analyze what is the real impact of it, what is the real purpose of it. One among that is interlinking of various portals, and second, one announcement relating to RAMP, that is the rising and accelerating MSME performance. So we'll come to that in detail, friends. So first is portal linking. Now employment focus. Now, as I said, there is a discussion going on. We really need to know what is the real purpose of interlinking of these 4 portals. One is the Udyam registration portal. We all know Udyam replaced the earlier Udyog Aadhaar portal. It is a more inclusive portal now, the portal used for basic MSME registration. This portal will now be interlinked with 3 more portals, and these portals are mainly relating to the overall employment scenario in the country. So one is eShram, second is NCS, and third is ASEEM portals will be interlinked. Government says their scope will be widened. They will now perform as portals with live organic database providing G2C, that is government to consumers or citizens, in fact, government to citizens, B2C and B2B services. These services will relate to credit facilitation. That's what the finance minister is trying to say. How credit facilitation is possible through Udyam and employment related portals interlinking is a question has to be answered. But yes, something new is coming in. The skilling, the recruitment, and an aim to further formalize the economy and enhance entrepreneurial opportunities for all. Now, let us go through these portals, what they are. Udyam, we all know, MSME registration portal. eShram is a national database of unorganized workers. NCS, National Career Service, kind of an employment portal only, run by the government. ASEEM, Atmanirbhar, skilled employee-employer mapping. So first is unorganized workers, third is skilled employee-employer mapping. In between, there is an employment portal for open for everyone. So how will this help for whatever the goals the government is carrying? My just a study or say analysis says ki, is it really linked to the labor welfare in a way the government always tries to do? Like, is it relating to labor reforms that the government is trying to bring in? Is it something related to the national employment database? Because on various platforms, the government has accepted that they don't have any, say, unemployment or employment, new employment, added unemployment related database kind of. There is no national level database as on date. Or is it just relating to the ease? That is, as greater use of the technology you bring in government working, it creates larger transparency, and transparency brings the ease. So friends, this is really a matter for all of us to really watch, really wait for, and see what really is the purpose of the interlinking of these portals. Even I'll be waiting for it. Second, one initiative or announcement or allocation of funds also, which the government said, raising and accelerating MSME performance program with outlay of 6,000 crores over a period of 5 years will be rolled out. This will help the MSME sector become more resilient, competitive, and efficient. Now, how is that? The government is going to carry this out? So there is some clue in this. Again, few questions I am posing. So what is RAMP? So RAMP is an intervention designed on the basis of Sinha Committee of RBI, which recommended regulatory, financial, and most important, implementation reforms, as well as firm level access reforms to provide targeted interventions for the MSMEs. So friends, if you just deeply analyze, there are these 2-3 very important schemes for MSMEs, and if you see, the allocation to these schemes in last 1 or 2 years has gone down. For example, Z, that is zero effect, zero defect scheme, which is very important for any industry in terms of quality competitiveness. There is no allocation to the scheme in last 2 years. The government is always saying we are coming out with a new guideline for Z. Secondly, the lean cluster concept, again a very important initiative, a subsidy scheme for any small industry to revamp its production platform, the production the factory arrangement, the lean discipline out of it. So this scheme also has no allocation in last 1 or 2 years. Again, government here is saying there is a scheme which is coming in, a new version of this scheme is coming in. CLCSS, we all know from 2020 April, there is no allocation for CLCSS also. Only the SC/ST category has got some allocation, including for service sector, but for general category, there is no allocation. My point here is, when the government says we will be spending so much amount on quality competitiveness, competitive and efficient working of MSMEs, so these all, say, technology upgradation and all related things are directly linked to the competitiveness and efficiency of MSME. And accordingly, I see that this allocation will be mainly for all these initiatives only. One important feature of our budget in last 2-3 years at least is the entire budget documentation has one document which says output and outcome budget. That means any allocation that the government is doing, it is also trying to give the outcome of that allocation and the output of the allocation. So when I went to this document, so it has a mention about RAMP also, and there the government is trying to give us what will be the output of this allocation. For example, the RAMP in 22-23 will get close to around 800 crores of allocation. And the thing they are trying to take out from it, the output of it is implementing central government MSME institutional reforms, accelerating MSME sector related center state collaboration, which brings in the trades platform related onboarding, Then the enhancing the effectiveness of firm capability scheme, which brings in Z silver graduation, then the lean or Z gold graduation. So strengthening the receivable financing, which brings in the TREDS again. Then kind of. So this very interesting document I suggest everyone should go through, which this is the output. Just I tried to copy paste the output paragraph out of it. The outcome para is more interesting, where the government tries to give us how many of the MSMEs will be benefited out of this particular allocation in the current year. So friends, the ramp in a way will bring in the new forms of initiatives as far as quality and competitiveness are concerned. There is a good allocation that we can see here, and a policy implementation monitoring will also be enhanced. That is what is all about ramps. Frankly, these are the four things which are there specifically for the MSMEs. But other than that, around 12, 13 initiatives now I tried to list down, which are directly or indirectly linked to the MSME welfare. One, the first about it is the PLI for 14 sectors. Now, this production linked incentive, we all know, we have heard about this in last 1 year or so. The 14 sectors were announced. As on date, all 14 sectors have got their policy out. Their enrollment has also started. In many cases, enrollment started. It is also closed. The lot of industry units, they got the benefit also. In many cases, it is in tranches. So, say for example, pharma sector, out of say around 280 applications, around 60 plus got the allotment of scheme in first tranche, and the government is trying to tell us the second tranche will also be opened. So kind of friends, so 14 PLI sectors is one thing where government is seeing a potential job creation of 60 lakhs in coming days, additional production of 30 lakh crore during next 5 years, and total incentive offered to all these 14 schemes put together is more than 2 lakh crores. So MSME is the direct as well as indirect beneficiary as a key supplier of components and services. I need not elaborate on this. Gati Shakti, we have heard a lot of things. So Gati Shakti is all about roads. So PM Gati Shakti master plan for expressway will be formulated in 22-23 to facilitate faster movement of people and goods. The national highway network of 25,000 more kilometers, 20,000 crore will be mobilized through innovative ways of finance. Contracts for implementation of multi-modal logistic parks at 4 locations through PPP mode. One policy reference of government of Maharashtra I can definitely give here is the state logistics parks policy. Very interesting policy for those who are into real estate sector. Because of a shorter time, I may have to rush through this presentation. So I'll just go on brushing these things. Wherever you have any query, definitely you can please come into the chat box. Railways, so one station, one product is a new word that is coined this time as part of Atmanirbhar Bharat, 2,000 kilometers of network of under the Kavach Indian Age's world-class technology and safety. Then the 400 new generation Vande Bharat trains in next 3 years, 100 PM Gati Shakti cargo terminals for multimodal logistics facilities. Ropeway is a new announcement altogether. So wherein government is trying to tell us that around 8 ropeway projects for a length of 60 kilometers will be awarded in 22-23. Definitely all these allotments are in a way linked to MSMEs because as we all know, MSME is the main supplier for all these. Relevant to this particular platform, which talks more about the processing and all, real great work that Nilesh and team is doing. So agriculture, we all know 2023 is a year of millets, I think possibly declared by the UN. So support for post-harvest value addition, domestic consumption, branding nationally and internationally. Chemical-free natural farming will be promoted through the country, focus on 5 kilometers wide corridor along Ganga. For delivery of digital and high-tech services to farmer, a scheme in PPP mode. Use of Kisan drones for crop assessment, a fund to finance startups, for agriculture and rural enterprises, support for FPOs, machinery for farmers on rent. Food processing has one more kind of allocation we can see for farmers to adopt suitable varieties of fruits and vegetables and to use appropriate production and harvesting techniques. Government will provide a comprehensive package with participation of state government. We can definitely correlate it with few of the current schemes that are going on. Maybe an additional allocation will be done to that. We all know food park linked subsidy. We all know Kisan Sampada also. Nilesh was just mentioning about it. So friends, in addition to the food processing, we have really the river linking that has found some place in budget this time, because this is one area, one project which is close to this government. We have heard a lot of discussion, but this time there is a fund allocation also to this one scheme, and there is a announcement of 4 DPRs. That is a detailed project report is also done for 5 more interlinking projects, which will see a greater allocation in coming years. And definitely we can understand the importance of this particular project. Skill development, digital ecosystem for skilling and livelihood. Then this aims to empower citizens to skill, reskill, upskill through online training. Startups will be promoted to facilitate drone Shakti through varied applications and for drone as a service in select ITIs in all states, and required school skilling will also be started. Education, 1 class, 1 TV channel. From 12 channels presently, the government is planning to increase it to 200 channels. We all know the importance of virtual learning that has gained in this all pandemic period. High quality e-content and in all spoken languages. In a way, again, help the MSMEs who are into all these technology driven initiatives. A competitive mechanism for development of quality e-content by teachers will be set up to empower and equip them with digital tools of teaching and facilitate better learning outcomes. Digital university is something which is pronounced for the first time to provide world-class quality universal education. Digital banking. So for the first time, there is a regulation of Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency also. We can see in the budget. On the same lines, government is saying to set up 75 digital banking units, faceless, intervention-free kind of digital units. One great thing that is coming in the form of post office core banking, online transfer of, and minded 1.5 lakh post offices across the country. The huge network of then interlinking, intertransfer of funds from post to bank now is possible. This will be helpful, especially for farmers, senior citizens, rural areas, enabling interoperability. Introduction of digital rupee. There is no mention of crypto because yes, there is a lot of explanation that is also given. Using blockchain and other technologies to be issued by Reserve Bank of India starting 22-23. So we have to wait for what RBI really comes out of it. There are a lot of speculations already, the opportunities therein. At the same time, there is a regulation of cryptocurrency based income also. I'll come to that when I have one slide about taxation also. In ease of doing business 2 and ease of living, 25,000 compliances government says were reduced. 1486 union laws were repealed. By the time India is at 100, nearly half of our population will be in cities. So the government is planning for a high-level committee of reputed urban planners. Is something, again, a step beyond this smart city concept. We have definitely we as a country have to move on and go to those class 2 and class 3 cities also. Something beyond, say, smart city concept, smart city related allocation. Battery swapping policy, battery or energy as a service kind of. So there, the government is also planning to bring in some additional production linked incentive also. One very important development as far as MSME is concerned and as far as overall reforms as a government is concerned is into government procurements. So there the modernized rules which allow for transparent quality criteria besides the cost criteria is already there in place. That's what the government says. Provision of payment of 75% of the running bills is mandatory within 10 days, and encouragement of settlement of dispute through conciliation. Both these things are already there in place. Now the new initiative is about, for transparency, reduced delays, complete paperless end-to-end e-bill system to be launched. All central ministries for their procurement. That means any supplier, any contractor who is supplying to the central ministries, he will lodge his bills online and the clearance will also be online. There is no human intervention. That is what is the message in this particular initiative. Just think of a day when this particular initiative will reach the Gram Panchayat or the last government office and will create some better transparency, will reduce the corrupt practices, reduce the corruption. So we need to contribute on all these reforms also by giving our ideas. One initiative definitely is a welcome initiative by the government, which is presently limited to the central ministries. Last very important thing, everyone should note who is a supplier to the government as of now, where the government is saying to reduce the indirect cost for suppliers and works contractor, surety bonds instead of bank guarantee. And friends, the budget was announced on 31st January. IRDA guidelines have come on the 13th January itself. That means before the budget, IRDA has already issued the guidelines. And these guidelines are all about the framework through which, in a way, the banking business is now getting shifted to the insurance companies. In short, instead of having these non-fund limits from the bank, which has lot of hindrances starting from the collateral securities, the processing charges, the renewal related problems, instead of bank guarantee non-fund limits, we can now, the government contractors can now go for a insurance policy in short. So all types of bank guarantees which we issue today, there will be an insurance product, and out of that insurance product, without any collateral security also, you can buy this policy. So two important advantages is reduced cost. Government is claiming that the cost of this insurance policy will be lower than the cost of availing bank guarantee limits. And secondly, reduced dependence on bank non-fund limits. So here, just to list down: advance payment bond, bid bond, contract bond, custom and code bond, performance bond, retention bond. All types of bonds can be issued by the insurance company. A small initiative maybe, or an initiative as part of overall ease of doing business, which is followed world over. We have to pick and choose which are suitable to our country, and this one, maybe a small policy change, but it's shifting entire non-fund business as far as government supply is concerned, from banking industry to the insurance industry, with great release of resources kind of, because those hindrances which any borrower faces in availing the limits from the bank will definitely be benefited. And once it is coming to the government sector, it will definitely travel to the private sector also. So a lot of good news, the positive news for the MSME suppliers also. And I need not tell you about the GEM opportunity, which I always tell in all my presentations. Is GEM is such an opportunity. If you are there on the GEM, you will get the opportunity. If you are not there on the GEM, you will just lose that opportunity. 34 lakh crore is India's annual public procurement. 1,12,000 crore is the cumulative procurement till date. Maybe now it is little bit more, 3-4 month old data. 5.7 lakh crores is what government is planning. That is 5x in next just 2 years. 18 lakh crore in next just 5 years. So MSME share can definitely be 50% of the entire procurement because of the strategic placing of the MSME sector. Though the mandatory requirement is only 25%, but MSMEs can definitely supply 50% of this. Only need is we need to keep our eyes and ears open. Telecom sector, the 5G related production linked incentive, because the spectrum auctions are planned in 22-23. The contracts for laying optical fiber in all villages. This is anyways has a great speed already. But one news here is 5G related production linked incentive is what government is coming out with. Export promotion, here there is a policy announcement again. The Special Economic Zone Act will be replaced with a new legislation. If we just can follow in last 7-8 years, this SEZ related regulations and its promotion, it had definitely some lacunas. So there was a need for total relook at the legislation part of it. So the government has now assured it. This will cover all large existing and new industrial enclaves to optimally utilize available infrastructure and enhance competitiveness. Atmanirbhar Bharat in defense. So defense definitely has a lot of new things. First, the capital procurement budget, which was indigenous 58% already, government is now planning to enhance it to 68% indigenous procurement. Second important announcement of the total allocation for defense, 25% of the R&D related allocation will now also can travel to the private hands. That means defense R&D will be opened up for industry, startups and academia, with 20%, 25% of the budget being earmarked for these particular areas. Private, one more new thing, one more new initiative is private industry will now be encouraged to take up design and development of military platforms and equipments in collaboration with DRDO and other organizations through SPV model. Now, till date, DRDO was giving its right to manufacture the royalty-based licensing being issued to the private industry. Now, there is a change. The private industry, the private entrepreneur can come and have a SPV with the DRDO and create a manufacturing entity. A new SPV can be created. An independent nodal umbrella body will also be set up for meeting wide range of testing and certification requirements. So one good news, one really big news for defense related MSMEs. Solar power, again, one more PLI. That's what the government is planning here, just to meet this real ambitious goal of 280 gigawatts of installed solar capacity by 2030. Lot of new investment collaboration opportunities in solar that will definitely come up. Circular economy, a new word that has found its place in the budget, is the circular economy transition is expected to help in productivity enhancement and creating large opportunities for new business and jobs. The action plan, the government says, for 10 such sectors is already ready, such as electronic waste, end-of-life vehicles, used oil waste, hazardous industrial wastes are ready. Focus now on addressing the important cross-cutting issues for infra, technology upgradation, and integration of informal sectors. So for me also, this is frankly a new word, but the intention is very, very clear that the circular economy, that the last remaining component of these out of these 10 sectors will also be recycled, used for betterment, used for new business opportunities and added job opportunities. This will be supported by active public policies, regulations, extended producers responsibility framework, and innovation facilitation. So one or two things which we at Chamber, I expect here that we should take it for further study is one circular economy is one area wherein what can be the added opportunities, what can be the policy initiatives, regulations can definitely be through our platform, through our chamber, we can definitely do some R&D on this. Transition to carbon neutral economy, kind of. So here one more good initiative, a surprising initiative also, but much required initiative is 5 to 7% biomass pellets will now be co-fired in thermal power plants, resulting into CO2 saving of 38 MMT annually. Definitely a great step. How effective it will be is definitely the time only will tell us. But a problem which is converted into opportunity can be said. Extra income to farmers and job opportunities to locals, and help avoid this stubble burning also. So this will definitely help the farmers. Energy efficient and saving measures will be promoted. 4 pilot projects for coal gasification and conversion of coal into chemicals required for industry will be set up to evolve technical and financial viability. Venture capital related, one more entire policy relook is what the government has announced now. Venture capital and private equity invested more than 5.5 lakh crore last year, facilitating one of the largest startup and growth ecosystem in our country. We all know around 60,000 startups. That's what the government is claiming. Scaling up of investment requires holistic examination of regulatory and other frictions. An expert committee will be set up to examine and suggest appropriate measures. In a way, the government wants a higher inflow of this private and venture capital into startups in India. Definitely, it's a need of the hours, hence a total relook of the regulatory framework. That's what the government is planning. For encouraging important sunrise sectors such as climate action, deep tech, digital technology, etc., the government will promote thematic funds and blended finance, fund of funds kind of, wherein the government can come in for a 20% stake and 80% can be then driven through a private fund, is all about this particular thematic funds the government is talking about in these sunrise sectors kind of. We all know this unicorn concept. I need not tell at least this platform. India is third largest in terms of number of unicorns now. So this all is directed towards that. The government wants to promote more and more startups, more and more investment into startups. Friends, with this, in a way, the MSME related initiatives, the related sectors I tried to cover. In next 2-3 slides, I'll try to bring in some the tax related advantages to the benefit for the MSMEs. One thing which in presenting the entire budget which the government has to balance is the fiscal deficit. Just for the information, budgeted fiscal deficit was 6.8%, whereas actual was just 0.1% above the target. It is at 6.9%. 22-23 government is planning 6.54%, and the 25-26 target which is the government has taken is 4.5%, which means the government wants to generate the internal funds only and rely less on the borrowed funds and fund the expenditure. So this is a fiscal discipline driven budget, can definitely be said. Direct taxes, one is updated written. I'll not go much into that. There is one advantage that is given to cooperative societies, because we as MSMEs or say owners of MSMEs are still members of lot of cooperative societies. So there the rate of tax on these societies is reduced. This rate is on the minimum alternate tax, or the AMT it is called as alternate minimum tax. Definitely will help those societies in creating additional disposable income. Now startup related registration and the linked tax holiday, the last date is now extended by 1 more year till 31st March. So any entity which is registering itself as startup up to 23rd March 23 will definitely be eligible for tax holiday of 3 years. Then we all know in 2019, this 15% tax rate was initiated by the government for manufacturing companies. So this again, the deadline for production of commencement of production, which was earlier March 23, is now extended to March 24. Taxing of virtual digital assets. I already spoke about this. The crypto is now in a way regulated. It will be taxed at 30%. Only deduction is the cost of acquisition, no other deduction there. And a TDS related provision is also there. So then one more ease kind of created is the department now cannot go into appeals where the already question of law is pending in any of the courts in India. So as I said, I'll not go much deeper into a few of these cases. The consortium formed for government supplies, surcharge capped at 15%. So this is again for government supplies where 2 or more companies they come together. So there it forms as an association of persons. There the surcharge was on a higher side. Now that is capped to 15%, which is capped for all private limited companies. Education says not deductible, just a clarification is given. No set off of Bradford losses against the undisclosed income. Customs, lot of initiatives. In fact, we should go into details, but the bottom line I can tell you is propose to phase out the concessional rate in capital goods and project imports gradually and apply a moderate tariff of 7.5%. In a way, the government will now promote more and more domestic productions and production of capital asset, capital expenditure within the country, and hence it will levy some custom duty on capital asset import. That is what is the bottom line here. But a lot of custom related initiatives, mainly to promote domestic production and to just discourage the import of certain properly planned items where the government wants to promote Atmanirbhar concept. So customs, and then excise related one more thing is the fuel which is not blended with the ethanol will now be costing 2 rupees more. So this is applicable from 1st day of October. So in a way, government will promote a lot of initiatives which are green in nature. So output and outcome budget, which I was talking about, I'll just present this last slide and will maybe take a break. Is about, for example, here the production linked incentive. You can definitely refer this. The outcome, if you see, the government is trying to tell us that the outcome of PLI in terms of increase in production of telecom and networking products in India, target here is 10,000 crores of additional net value of production, 5,000 crores of net value of export of telecom and networking products, 30% of net percentage of produced goods that are exported. So reduction on dependency of imports close to 30%, and reduction of imports of telecom and networking products by close to 5,000 crores, and employment opportunity of around 10,000 added employment. So friends, while reading the budget, in a way, my message in presenting this slide was, we should also know the outcome and output of this so that we can also focus on those areas and definitely see how it can benefit me as an entrepreneur directly or indirectly. That was the purpose I wanted to present that last slide. So with this, I end my presentation as such. So if we have any query, we can definitely attend to that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Maheshwar sir. I open it up for any Q&A, any questions people can unmute. I have one observation or question or also help request for you. You mentioned GEM portal, government e-marketplace. I find that MSMEs are still a little reluctant or unaware of how to avail it. So something we can do, maybe a session from you or someone who's an expert in how to onboard or how to search.
Yes, definitely can be done. There are, I think, there are some MSME ministry representatives also who are speaking on this particular this subject. I can refer them to you. Officers of MSME DI, the Development Institute. They are the first-hand information from horse's mouth kind of. So they can definitely authoritatively speak on this.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So the forum is open. Anybody has any questions, feel free to unmute and ask. And you also mentioned about the insurance companies getting into this whole credit without any collateral kind of a thing, right? So because a lot of SMEs, what they face is, we do get bill discounting or post shipment discounting and bringing down the credit cycle, but many times funding our purchase order sometimes could be a little bit of a challenge because of lesser credit limits or not enough cash flows happening. So if you can highlight on that also aspect.
Sure. Well, however, this particular initiative is all about the dependence on the non-fund limits by the government suppliers, mainly the contractors. This particular initiative is all about that. Take just an example. Suppose a contractor who is a supplier to, say, railways. So all these contractors necessarily get some mobilization advance from the railways to start a particular project. Suppose delivery is in, say, 6 months. So there, suppose a order of 10 crores and 10% of the order value is given as advance. So railway expects a bank guarantee of equivalent amount from this contractor. Now, for a contract of 10 crores, he has to give 10% as advance guarantee. For those contracts, suppose he has already executed a contract of, say, around 50 crores, there again 10% of 50 crores, say 5 crores as performance guarantee. There is something called as security deposit related retention. Security deposit is a little bit different, but retention for all the contracts that are executed, so that is, say, around 5%. So close to 30% of the turnover. And if you are bidding for, say, higher, say, bigger projects, so you take close to 60-70% of my existing turnover I need as limit in the form of bank guarantee. Suppose my turnover is, say, 200 crore, I may need a bank guarantee limit of around 150 crores. So for a person who is doing a turnover of around 200 crore, he needs a limit from bank of, say, 150 crore. He needs a equivalent collateral, maybe at least 30-40% of it is also very huge for him. So today, because of this bank limit related all these compulsions, taking bigger bank guarantee limits and then going for bigger projects and creating that healthy competition and lot of resource release, I use that word, this was not possible probably, or this was creating lot of hindrance in for those suppliers, for those quality suppliers who do not have any established kind of collaterals with them or securities that they can provide. So now what will happen is the person, this supplier, this contractor will not go to the bank for a limit of 150 crores. He'll go and purchase an insurance policy. Now insurance total concept works on a different entire, it's a total different ball game. There is a risk underwriting. So for 150 crores of insurance policy, maybe the insurance company now, definitely for the insurance companies to develop the products now, we have close to 50 plus general insurance companies in India today. So all they'll come out with their products. And instead of going for a bank guarantee limit, people will now go to the insurance company, purchase that insurance policy, and whenever it has to issue a it has to issue a guarantee to its customer, the insurance company will issue surety bond. So as I said, this will definitely shift the entire non-fund business from banking sector to insurance sector, and ultimate beneficiary is the MSME into this, the main the supplier, the contractor.
Okay, great. Thank you. I think I had seen DC Solanki raise his hand. Sir, you want to ask a question? Or?
Yes, sir. I want to just know the GM, government, how do we proceed for the same? And do you have any specific training program for the same?
In fact, I'll tell you, sir, it is a most user-friendly registration that you can do. In fact, if you are registered on Udyam, there you can do a auto registration also. The portal is asking whether you want to register for GEM also. So if you say yes, there is an auto registration, or if you want to go and do a detailed registration, you go to GEM portal with all your basic details. You can go and register yourself. It is nothing but maybe line में हूँ इतना बोलना है उसमें. So it is asking for those typical minimum details, your products and all. Yes, but the more information you give, better are your opportunities for getting some orders. So as far as training is concerned, I already committed to Nilesh ji that I'll refer someone who will definitely come and guide on this platform only.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Maybe you referred to the Samadhan portal also. If you can maybe talk about it for 2-5 minutes, because recovery is a very big issue for MSMEs. So if you can throw some light on that.
Certainly. In short, I'll tell you about Samadhan. As I said, the government has announced this, that they'll be interlinking these 4 portals. One is Udyam and 3 employment related portals. In last 3-4 years, these 3 particular digital initiatives, one is Samadhan, second is GEM, and third definitely the Udyam or the Udyog Aadhar. They have really created ease, really created transparency. In fact, they have curtailed the amount of time that for that particular cause the MSME was spending is curtailed to a great extent. So one such initiative in last 3-4 years is Samadhan. So earlier, for all recovery related disputes, you were supposed to go to the district indices center, present the entire file, then that manual process will start, and that takes its own sweet times around, in many cases, first notice issue was also taking around a year's time. So because of this Samadhan, as soon as you file your case with say minimum details, the auto-generated notice goes to your customer, and the wording of the notice is so strong. It is biased in a way towards MSMEs, which words like this, that so and so has lodged a claim against you. You are requested to settle the claim and produce us the receipt within 15 days. Pending which we will be taking this case forward and will be starting the hearings in the case. Point here is that Samadhan is a one-stop solution for all your receivable related disputes, and because of its the auto-generated mails kind of those features, the speed has gone up like anything. Once your customer receives such kind of a notice, he'll definitely go to his advocate or a chartered accountant, and definitely any studied person will guide him that you pay this person immediately. If you have to pay to say 10 people, you pay this person, keep him on top and pay him immediately. So that is all about Samadhan. Yes, but there are many things which are linked to it. Once you file a case, then it goes into a lot of the process of it. Then as soon as this notice goes, suppose there is a response, that is great. But if the customer opts to contest your particular notice, then it goes into hearings, then it goes into conciliation, it goes into arbitration, and ultimately the case is resolved through more of discussion and mediation only, I can tell you that. But it's a great platform which has reduced the entire litigation time by 80%, I'll say.
Great, thank you. Sohanki ji, you have raised your hand again. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to just know the traders can register in the Udyami card MSME under MSME.
Sorry?
Traders can register for Udyam card.
Traders can register under Udyam, but they will be getting limited benefit of being a priority sector for bank lending.
Okay.
Other than that, traders do not have the benefit of Samadhan also.
Okay.
So they'll get only that priority sector ka status, and they can register. They can definitely register.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you very much. I think, sir, if you can put up your last slide, which has your phone number and email, so that if anybody who's attending here wants to connect, I think they can connect with you offline also. So thank you very much, sir, for your time. And as always, our invite, you honor it. So I will now request Diksha to please propose the official vote of thanks.
Yes. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
So I would like to propose vote of thanks. Thank you, Marathi sir, for joining today. And thank you all the participants. I'd like to thank everyone on behalf of CSMB and Food Tech Pathshala. So if you are looking for a certificate for this session, you can log into foodtechpathshala.com and you can say completed the course and you can get the certificate. So thank you everyone. Thank you for joining.
Thank you. Good night, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.